to a 2001 study in a journal, has been reported in a number of reserves in the region. This isn't just one group of animals. This is all throughout South Africa. They're finding in the game reserves the elephants will rape and kill rhinoceroses. Now that's a really weird one. That really blew my mind when I read it. So, I want to get into a bit of freaky animal behaviours now. Now this is brand new stuff, hot off the press from the research papers, and I literally have just spent the last 3 months reading this material and putting it into a lecture for you. There is a disclaimer on this though. You will not see your cute and cuddly creatures the same way again. So I do warn you, this will change your mind on a few creatures. Bonobos. Has anybody ever seen bonobos? Travel around? Yep. Really cute creatures actually. One of the primates. Now they have a matrilineal society. Basically means the females dominate. And actually in a lot of human cultures around the world, especially in Papua New Guinea and the Solomon Islands, it's all matrilineal. Matrilineal society. The females own all the land, are in charge. If a male or a husband cheats on the wife, basically they just get kicked off the land. But in bonobos, both males and females engage in sexual behaviour with the same and the opposite sex, with no real notable difference between the two. Basically, they do not care whether it's male or female. In fact, if two males were to get together and were about to have a fight, they won't have a fight. They'll have sex with each other to calm things down, and then they'll move on. They're a very, very loving race of, species of animals. 75% of sexual activity between bonobos is non-reproductive. Okay, so that's probably the one that's had the most research done on them. Now down into the water, the flatworms, which is the one that I've done the most research on, and I find absolutely amazing. They're very, very small, only about 1 inch or 2 long, and they sort of dance through the water. Very, very spectacular animals. But they are hermaphrodites. Okay, they both have male and female sexual organs. So they have this thing when they come to mate, is they penis fence, and that is the correct term for it, penis fencing. And what they do, and I just had to put the Latin name up here for you, of the species that does the most times. Can we read that? It's a good one. Species which engage in the practice are hermaphroditic. They're hermaphrodites, and they possess both eggs and sperm-producing cells. Now, childbearing takes a lot of energy. You don't want to have to be the mother. You want to be the father. The father doesn't take very little effort at all. The mother, you have to put a lot of resources in to produce those offspring. But of course, you need to produce offspring. So thus, from a biological point of view, you want to be the father always. Now, what happens when they two meet each other, they will have a penis fence. So they'll both pull out their genitalia, two-headed dagger-like genitalia at that, and they will have a fencing match, and they will literally have, just like the olden days, a full duel, and the one that is able to stab the other one is the father, and he swims off, and then the female, then the other one will be the mother, and have to put all the effort in to fertilize those eggs, and of course gestate them. So it's quite an interesting little thing to see, and that is a picture of that event taking place. Now, bottlenose dolphins, well, of course, they've got plenty of things, but this is another one that I picked up recently. They've been observed working in pairs, so two male pairs, and they'll really try and hurt a female, make sure that they harass her and keep her at bay, away from the pod, until she becomes in heat, and then they'll mate with her. Those two pairs of male dolphins, though, during that time while they're waiting for her to go in heat, will regularly engage in sexual play with each other to form a bond. And more you see this in the animal kingdom, that sex is used for bonding. It's used to bond the social species together. It's not really, you can't really say it's a homosexual thing. It's more a bonding thing. Seahorses. Now, we've all heard a little bit about seahorses. We find them quite interesting. And the research of the last 3 years has actually turned our idea of seahorses right on its head. Long upheld as monogamous and and mating for life, they've been identified as promiscuous, flighty, and more than a little bit gay. Bisexuality was widespread, with big-bellied seahorses, with both genders showing absolutely no preference whatsoever of male or female interaction. And I do have the numbers down there after just under 2,000 contacts that they recorded. 2,000 contacts were male-female, 800 were female-female, and 300 were male-male. And when you do all the figures and see the whole report, they don't care. They really don't care. Now, lions. Has anyone ever heard about lions? This one really blew me away when I read it. Does anyone know much about lions? Any lion experts in the room? We have a lion expert in the room. Please tell me if you've heard this, because this blew me away. Male lions often lead their social groups with their brothers. Okay, so they'll have one or two other brothers and they'll run the pride of lions. But those two brothers will regularly strengthen their bond by having sex with each other. That's quite an interesting one as well. And I'll never look at lions quite the same way again. Penguins. Now these ones is from Germany actually, and this was what happened in a zoo very, very recently. In 2009 at a zoo in Germany, two gay adult Humboldt penguins. They were actual couple, but of course they didn't have any eggs for obvious reasons. And then an abandoned egg from another group was abandoned, and they took control of it. And then they raised it just as if they were the biological parents, which is actually quite common in penguin species. They will take another egg, male and female partner, and take it and look after it. But these, of course, were two male penguins. And after the egg hatched, the two gay penguins raised, protected, cared for, and fed the chick in the same manner that the heterosexual penguins would. And yeah, basically one, and this was the interesting thing I found, is that they swapped roles between being, because in penguin society there is kind of a male role and a female role a lot of the time, and they would just switch. About every week, one would be the female, one would be the male, but they just switch back and forth. So, you thought some humans were sexual deviants. Well, I'd like to conclude that the animal kingdom consists almost entirely of sexual deviants. In our mind, of course, when we relate them back to us. So, this is my personal conclusion on the matter. Social species are the most common sexual deviants, but the latest research suggests that if any animal can have sex, it will probably have sex in every way possible. Therefore, in my humble opinion, most animals have sex purely for the pleasure of the experience. Reproduction is a necessary, but it's just a byproduct. Okay? They do it just for fun, and then the rest sort of just plays itself out. So, I hope I've answered, or maybe raised a few more questions about the sexual reproduction of marine creatures and a few terrestrial ones as well. So, hope you enjoyed that. I hope you learned something out of that one. Now, thank you. I'll just get